Well, hello and welcome to the show. I'm glad you've joined us this morning. Dee Dee and I are discussing, are you qualified to ride a young horse? We started last week and it's sort of an argument between the two of us. Am I winning the argument?
You made progress last week.
All right, just right. Well, we're going to continue because it's my thought that if you have a purpose and a plan and the right education, anybody can ride a young horse. We're going to finish proving that right here on Discovering the Horseman Within.
Now the sun is rising slowly on the mountain you must climb, and the trail that takes you closer to the source. And you dream about the moment when you leave it all behind and climb up on that one true horse. That one true horse, the perfect partner built to ride. One true horse, a bond that cannot be denied. You would search forever just to have the chance to take a ride on one true horse. I'm gonna take a ride on one true horse.
Okay, so hon, last week we talked about just some things you could do on the ground. We talked about getting the horse to disengage his hindquarters, stepping up and down in the stirrup. We ended with you just getting non-ebony. So what I want you to do this week is just review that for about as long as it takes for you to be comfortable, honestly. Okay. And that was really just the last training session. So go through that, find out that you're comfortable. And then today we're going to talk about controlling the developing movement, controlling the movement, how to use your legs, when to use your legs, how your hands and seats apply, and how best to aid this young horse in the progression.
Okay, that sounds perfect. So I'll just start with softening her head again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Remember, this is one of those things we talked about last week, but watch out. She didn't grab that horse's nose and pull it around. If you grab that horse's nose and pull it around, then from the time it leaves center over to here where it finally softens again, it didn't have a choice. You just took that away from it. By just contacting the center of the horse's mouth and just letting that bit lay from the center of the tongue back out to the corner of his mouth, that horse has the chance to say, how do I get that out of my mouth? And they have the opportunity to be that much softer and to give and come all the way through there. I like to think of my program like A to Z horsemanship because we don't skip any steps. We just start at point A and we go through. So it's very natural for Dee Dee in this session to just come back and review what the horse already knows. So last week she learned ABC. So this week we review ABC. What are we ready for? D, E, F. We're ready to move on in the alphabet, okay? You never second guess your own emotions, but the nice thing is, in session 2, it shouldn't take near as long to progress forward. When you're reviewing ABC, if that took 20 minutes, then in the review session, it really should take 5 to 10 to review that and then move forward. Seems like she's fussing with her tongue and her mouth a little bit. She just kind of chews on that bit. I don't really pay too much attention to that. If she's not pulling on my hand, then she'll get quiet with her mouth. Right now, she's young enough. Remember, this is a 2-year-old filly with about 16 rides. Well, if you count the 2-minute ride from last session, 16 rides, about 15 really. So if she gets a little bit mouthy with that bit right now, as long as it doesn't become out of control and a habit, I'm gonna be okay with it. If she's soft, she'll get quiet. And just go back and sock her out a little bit.
It's okay that I walk behind her?
Yeah, it's great. I would probably walk a little closer behind her. You were probably just a touch further back than I would be. If you're going to walk behind a horse, you need to be up close or a long ways out. Or you need to be so close to the back of the horse that you're touching it so that if they kick, it doesn't affect you. They don't have any power in it. Remember at the close of last week's show, Dee Dee commented that she had been afraid when we started and scared, and that's good. If you ever run into somebody who tells you they're not afraid or they're not scared, get away from them, because they're probably not far away from getting hurt. The truth is, these horses are 40 times more powerful than we are. It doesn't take any effort to get hurt. It takes a lot of effort to pay attention to what you're doing and not get hurt. All right, she's going to step up in that stirrup. There you go.
She seems a bit more relaxed. Her head's coming down.
Good.
I don't seem as nervous as I was before.
You don't feel nervous?
No.
Great. All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, step up on her and
Okay.
we'll go for a ride.
Okie dokie.
Now you notice that in this week's session, I've got an extra tool in my hands. I've got a rope in my hands, and I'm going to use it to torture Dee Dee once she's on the horse.
Never mind. New rider.
Now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna let Dee Dee just start right off with just working on getting that horse soft and responsive to the bit. And then I'm going to initiate some of the movement. There you go. Good. She's going to move off really nice. I may not need to initiate any of it.
She is
Good.
moving
Then just reach up there and pet on her.
Okay.
Tell her she's doing good. Okay? Rock and roll in that saddle. Don't stop moving. When you're on a young horse, don't stop moving. You want to keep right on moving.
Is it okay?
Okay,
then?
all right. Pick up on that rein and move off.
Okay.
You want to keep those feet going someplace at this point.
Okay.
In reality, you don't want to pick at her and make her mad, but the more she moves right now, the better.
Okay.
The more she stands around, the more she has a chance to get nervous.
Okay.
If she were to bolt and run off right now, what are you going to do?
I would just maybe let her take a few steps, but I'll probably pick up on one rein and I will pick up on one rein and try to disengage her hindquarters and get her to shut down and stop.
Good, that's a perfect plan. Now the one thing you're doing I don't like,
Okay.
you're picking up on this horse's face
Yeah.
and she's giving and you're releasing.
Oh.
And every time you do that, you're teaching her that her nose is not connected to her body.
Okay.
At this point in the training,
Yes.
I want her to move her body to follow that bit. Otherwise, what happens is she learns to walk forward, flop her head over to the side, and she doesn't know to follow her nose with her feet.
Okay.
Because you have taught her that there's a release every time she moves her nose.
Right.
Okay, so next time you pick up on that, she needs to move her body so that she makes a change of direction in some way. There you go, good. You used a verbal cue to get her moving.
And then release?
Good, then release and pet on her. Excellent, now move her forward. I want to see her going someplace. Okay, good. All right, pick up on this inside rein and turn her again. Don't wait to have to respond or to react to something she responds to. Remember, in every relationship known to man, there is an actor and a reactor. Like a good example would be if I throw this rope at this horse, the horse is going to act, and then Dee Dee is going to act, and I'm going to end up in a reaction. Okay, so it would be a really bad idea. But in every relationship known to man, there's an actor and a reactor. And so you want to make sure you are the actor. If you ride waiting for this horse to act so you can react, you're going to get in a wreck. You're not in control. You need to be in control, so you loan this horse your confidence. She needs to know it's going to be okay.
Can I shake the panel?
Yeah, you can shake the panels. You bet. The more of that
She's
kind of
eating
stuff
the
you do.
panel.
Now, see, now I know Dee Dee's starting to get confident in what she's doing with her horse, because all of a sudden, she's doing things outside the ordinary. Oh, can I shake the panels? Okay, so you want to be careful you don't become John Wayne. Now, you're still on a young horse, so you don't want to all of a sudden be like, oh yeah, I'm John Wayne, and then you make a great big mistake. All right, go ahead and bring her to a stop and step off of her.
Just a stop. She doesn't have to back up?
Nope, just a stop.
Okay.
She does not at this point know how to back up. Good. Lead her on out here. Okay, so do you feel any difference in the 2-minute ride you put on this time as opposed to the 2-minute ride in the last session?
Absolutely. I think that I have relaxed completely, and she feels more relaxed to actually walk
Great.
around and travel a little bit.
Good. I'm glad you said that, because in this segment, I want you to get her trotting.
No.
Oh, no. I've been rejected. All right, let's get up on your horse if you're comfortable, and let's work on
Okay.
going forward.
She's already scared.
Okay, just there you go. Work through that. Work through that. Push her around there. Those things happen. The horse starts to make a move. Something scares it. It's a young horse. It's not going to be faultless. It's going to make mistakes. When it makes mistakes, you just deal with it and go through. You don't get upset over it. You don't get wound up over it. You just work through it. There you go. Great. You also don't dwell on it. You don't live there forever. You make the change you need to make, and then you move on. Okay? Good. Immediately pick up on a rein, soften her nose, and start directing her. I like a horse to stand still for a few seconds after I get on it. But then once it's stood still for maybe 20 to 30 seconds, I want to direct it. I don't want to wait, especially on a young horse, I don't want to wait for it to leave. Okay, pick up on a rein and ask it to go someplace. Dee Dee asked just before we took the last break, Dee Dee said, is this horse, or should I back this horse up? At this point, this horse may or may not know how to back up. Now, if your horse has been to the trainer for 30 days, he should know how to back up. But after 15 rides, not all of my colts necessarily know how to back up, although this mare, I believe, does back up on one rein. Okay, look at her just stride out right there. Reach down and pet on her. She just really walked out really nice this time. The last two rides, she's been kind of edging around and barely gets anywhere. Keep her nose up. Good, and just ask her to pick up the pace and walk on. There you go. Good. Now, if this mare breaks into a trot, I want you to let her trot 2 or 3 steps, and then calmly pick up on one rein and tip her nose towards the fence, right there.
Towards the fence?
Yep, towards the fence. I like to use the fence. Now, do you see right there, because we had not actually discussed this ahead of time, Dee Dee didn't have a plan. So what'd she do? She picked up on her favorite rein, which was the left one. Then she heard what I said, so she went to the right one. All right? You need to have that plan initiated in your mind before you do it. The reason is that you don't let them just trot off forever is that after about 10 steps, sometimes they'll scare themselves, they'll grab themselves and then bolt and run off. So just encourage her to trot a few steps. There you go. Good.
Whoops.
Nice. Reach down and pet on her. She didn't have to stop, just slow down. That's
Okay.
good. Pick up on her rein. There you go. Good. All right, well, the nice part is I'm not needing the rope. Now, are you scared?
No, I just don't want to, like,
Okay.
I don't want to
That's okay.
shut her movement down. I'm trying to actually encourage her to move
Good.
with my...
Don't shut it down too much now. This time, let her trot maybe 10 or 15 steps.
Okay, now I'm nervous. No, just kidding.
All right, keep her nose
keep
up,
her head
encourage
up.
that movement.
I was kind of getting some go from within me.
There you go, good. Just ride her through your seat, drive her forward. There you go.
Keep her going.
Yeah, and when you feel like it, go ahead and shut her down. I like to practice the shutdown for one reason. What does that do for you? It gives you the confidence that you can stop this horse. You know what I mean? Those few minutes we spent bending her have now given you the confidence that, gee, I can shut her down. Go ahead and pick her up to a trot just right. Looks really nice. She's moving off really good. So we started with a colt in last week's session that looked like a relatively on-broke horse. But the truth was, she wasn't that on-broke. Dee Dee was that nervous that she couldn't ride her the way she wanted to ride her. She didn't have the education, she didn't have the purpose or the plan. She didn't know what she was doing with this horse. Now, make sure you ask for that trot.
Okay, I hadn't. That was from her.
Okay. And then one of the things you've done now is you've sucked up on both reins really short.
Okay.
That's not going to do you any good. If this mare does buck, it's just going to pull you over her ears. Okay, so
Right.
give her some release.
Okay.
And if you need
Now, if
to,
I didn't ask for that, shut her
pick up
down.
on one rein and just turn her into the fence and turn her around.
Okay.
Take her the other direction. There you go. Free movement is really nice. Give her a little slack. Now ask right there because she's going to go anyways. There you go. Keep her moving. Sit deep in your saddle. Probably get your shoulders back just a little bit. There you go. Heels down. Okay. Go ahead and stop that movement. Now, I want you to just wait right there until she backs up.
Oh.
Pick up on that one rein.
Okay.
And just hold that rein and think about going right there. She moved that front end backwards. Because what she's trying to do, she, the horse, Ebony, is trying to get away from that bit. And Dee Dee's got her against the fence. And it's just one of those natural places where you accidentally trap the horse.
Yep.
So use it.
Yep.
She really can't turn. She wants away from that bit, so you just hold it. She takes that step back and you release her, and you're teaching her how to get back off of that bit. Okay? So go ahead and do it again. Okay, just hold it, think backwards.
Right there?
Yep, that was
Or
good. She
should
moved that front foot back half a step. That was excellent. Now, are you qualified to take this young horse and go win a reining competition in 14 months?
No.
Probably not. But are you qualified to maybe continue if you know where you're going and you have a purpose and a plan to ride a young horse, as long as you have a purpose and a plan?
A purpose and a plan definitely makes a difference in how you feel and where you can take a horse.
Right, so you have to know, what am I going to do next? So I want you to ride her out here next. I want you to get her out here in the middle, and I want you to do the exact same thing we've done over there against the fence, but I want you to get 3 backward steps. I want you to ride her out here in the middle. She's been taking you around the rail. Ride her to a specific point now. Pick a target and go there. Good,
Okay.
Stop her right there.
Oh.
And just stop her on one rein. Back her up. Back her up 3 steps.
Oh, 3
Hold
steps.
it till she backs up 3 steps. Yep.
Is that good?
That's excellent. That's excellent. That's normally taught to the horses when we start them in the apprenticeship program, the 3-week program in the spring. That's, you know, a stage we teach all of them. But again, she's been all summer, hasn't been reminded of it, so she's coming back to it really nice.
Oh, she
You can ask for
instantly,
4 or 5 steps.
she instantly went to a stop. I was just trying to get her to turn.
Okay.
So how do
she's
I
saying, wait a
separate
minute,
that?
you got to change your seat. This horse is going, wait, I figured out how to stop and back up. Now I got to figure out how to turn. So I want you to ride her forward, pick up on that rein, and keep riding her forward through the turn. Go ahead and you start to use your legs. You haven't had to use your legs. You've been urging her with your seat.
Yeah.
But just squeeze through your calves and then bump gently to follow through if you have to. Now, you're getting your hand out here.
Right.
There's no reason to do that. When you get your hand out here, you're just leading the horse, and you're going to teach them to get heavy on their front end. Keep your hand in here by the saddle horn where you're actually going to ride on a finished horse. Just shorten that rein. There you go. You're getting your right hand across on the left side. There's no reason for that. Sit up straight. Work one side at a time. Go ahead and make a sharper turn. I want a 180. What's your right hand doing over there? This is a left hand exercise.
So really use my leg then.
Both legs. Both legs. There.
Oh, much better.
Right. Yeah, you're not just kicking her with one leg. She doesn't know what that means.
Okay.
There. You're using both legs to promote the forward movement.
Okay, if she started that, I just kind of shut her down.
Yep. Go ahead and turn her the other way.
Should you always turn her towards the fence when they
No.
trot off?
No. Just when you first start, I use the fence just because I know it's going to help shut their movement down. Okay, do a right hand 180. Shorten that rein down, get a sharper turn out of her. There you go. Good. All right, now bring her back into the center. And as you do, I want you to pick up on one rein, get her nose soft, maintain pressure on it, and pick up on the second rein right there. Just get her nose to come in. So now you've reviewed a lot of what she was taught when she was started in the spring. You've gone back through and you've worked on all of that. Go ahead and pick up your second rein. She'll back right up, I would imagine, right off that second rein. Just think your way through it right there. Good,
There.
release her. Good job. All right, go ahead and step off of her.
Okay. Much better, thank you.
So let's recap some of what we've talked about. First of all, you have to have a plan and know what you're going to teach your horse.
Yes, the plan makes the complete difference in feeling comfortable with where I'm going to go.
Okay? Second of all, you don't just jump on something and ride it just because somebody told you to or because you're pressured for time. You take the time it takes and you wait until your gut says, I've got enough confidence to do this.
As I worked through the exercises and spent time doing the exercise, it really built my confidence and took away the nervousness that I felt. That helps tremendously.
So when you're all said and done, are you ready to jump on and go lope across the meadow?
Probably not.
Right. So don't do that. You spend the time you need in here working with this horse until you know you have the control. You've got an idea of what it should look like, what you want to do, so you go put the time in the round pen until you can do it right.
Right.
And then you take it and go out with it.
Right.
One more question.
Okay.
How's the argument? Did I win the argument?
Well, I guess
That's
so.
hard to admit on national
It's
television.
hard to admit.
All right.
Hard to admit.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate having you with us. Until next week, may God bless the trails you ride.
For more information about Ken McNabb Clinics, appearances, and products, visit kenmcnabb.com.
One true horse, a perfect partner built to ride. One true horse, a bond that cannot be denied. You would search forever just to have the chance to take a ride on one true horse. Gonna take a ride on one true horse.
And action.
Okay, do you feel any different from last week's session?
Problem.
Can you back up so we
Oh,
can see your
right.
back?
And get closer together.
Get closer together.
Not that close.
Hey, I got robbed there. I got robbed.
Oh, very good. All right.